Today, we are stepping inside a breathtaking Paris apartment that feels less like a residence and more like a living art museum. Hidden within one of the city's historic neighborhoods, this extraordinary home combines classical French architecture with modern artistic expression. Every detail has been carefully curated to create an atmosphere that feels emotional, cinematic, and timeless. From the moment you see the exterior facade to the final intimate corner inside, this apartment tells a story through texture, light, color, and design. Before entering the apartment itself, the surrounding neighborhood immediately establishes the tone of elegance and heritage. Quiet stone streets, iron balconies covered with greenery, and warm cafe terraces create the unmistakable spirit of Parisian life. The apartment is located inside a preserved Haussmann-era building, surrounded by architectural details that reflect centuries of artistic culture. The environment itself already feels like part of the museum experience, blending history and beauty into everyday living. The building's exterior is a masterpiece of symmetry and proportion. Tall French windows line the facade while decorative moldings and aged limestone surfaces add authenticity and character. Unlike modern minimalist buildings that rely on simplicity alone, this structure embraces ornamentation and craftsmanship. The exterior feels poetic, almost theatrical, reminding visitors that Paris architecture has always celebrated beauty as an essential part of urban life. As we approach the main entrance, a massive arched wooden door welcomes us into the building. The aged brass handles and intricate carvings reveal the apartment's rich historical roots. Soft natural light reflects against the stone entryway, creating a warm and inviting atmosphere. Even before stepping inside the apartment itself, there is already a feeling that every surface has been intentionally designed to preserve memory and artistry. Inside the building, a sculptural staircase spirals upward beneath a classic chandelier. The wrought iron railing curves gracefully like a piece of functional art. Marble steps show subtle signs of age, adding authenticity rather than imperfection. The journey toward the apartment feels cinematic, almost like entering a European art gallery where every transition between spaces creates anticipation and emotional depth. The apartment's entrance door immediately introduces a balance between old and new. Original wood paneling has been restored beautifully, while contemporary bronze hardware gives the entry a refined modern contrast. Upon entering, guests are welcomed by a calm neutral palette mixed with layered artistic details. The first impression is not overwhelming luxury, but quiet sophistication filled with warmth, storytelling, and personality. The entry hall acts almost like the opening gallery of a museum exhibition. Large framed artwork leans casually against textured walls while a sculptural console table becomes the centerpiece of the corridor. Soft lighting highlights every material, from polished stone flooring to handcrafted decorative objects. Rather than feeling staged, the space feels deeply lived in, artistic, and emotionally connected to its owners. One of the apartment's most impressive features is the way natural light transforms every room. Tall Parisian windows allow sunlight to move gracefully across walls, fabrics, and artwork throughout the day. The designers treated light almost like another material within the interior composition. Morning light creates softness and calmness, while golden afternoon tones add warmth and drama to the artistic environment. The living room serves as the emotional heart of the apartment. High ceilings, original moldings, and oversized windows create a sense of grandeur without feeling intimidating. Instead of overcrowding the space with furniture, the design focuses on carefully selected statement pieces. A curved sofa, vintage armchairs, and sculptural lighting work together to create an atmosphere that feels luxurious yet deeply personal. What truly transforms this apartment into a living art museum is the relationship between architecture and art. Paintings, sculptures, and collectible design objects are integrated naturally into daily life. Nothing feels overly formal or untouchable. Every artwork interacts with the furniture, textures, and lighting around it, creating an immersive experience where creativity becomes part of everyday living. One of the apartment's most valuable design features is its original decorative moldings. Carefully restored ceiling details frame every room with elegance and rhythm. Instead of hiding historical elements, the designers highlighted them through strategic lighting and minimalist furnishings. This contrast between classic ornamentation and contemporary simplicity creates a balance that feels distinctly Parisian and visually unforgettable. Every furniture piece inside this apartment feels like an individual work of art. Organic curves, rich textures, and handcrafted materials transform functional objects into sculptural installations. Chairs resemble gallery pieces while tables feel almost architectural in form. The furniture arrangement also creates visual flow, encouraging movement through the space much like walking through curated museum rooms. At the center of the living room stands a magnificent marble fireplace that anchors the entire interior composition. Above it hangs a dramatic oversized painting that immediately captures attention. The fireplace combines classical French elegance with contemporary styling, proving that historical architecture can still feel modern when paired with the right artistic vision and spatial balance. Texture plays an essential role in creating emotional richness inside the apartment. Velvet seating, linen curtains, aged oak flooring, polished marble, and matte plaster walls work together harmoniously. Instead of relying on excessive decoration, the interior uses materiality to create depth and atmosphere. Every surface invites visual curiosity and contributes to the apartment's museum-like identity. Unlike traditional compartmentalized Paris apartments, this home embraces a more fluid layout. Rooms connect naturally through aligned sightlines and carefully framed architectural openings. This openness allows light, artwork, and movement to flow continuously throughout the apartment. The experience feels immersive, almost like moving through different chapters of a carefully curated artistic narrative. The dining room feels intimate yet theatrical at the same time. A long sculptural dining table sits beneath an elegant chandelier that casts soft reflections across the room. Vintage dining chairs introduce character while contemporary artwork creates contrast against classic wall paneling. The atmosphere encourages conversation, slow dining, and appreciation for beauty in everyday rituals. Lighting inside the apartment is treated with extraordinary attention. Rather than relying solely on ceiling fixtures, the designers led multiple light sources throughout the rooms. Floor lamps, wall sconces, table lamps, and hidden ambient lighting create depth and mood. At night, the apartment transforms into a warm cinematic environment where shadows and highlights enhance every artistic detail. The kitchen combines modern functionality with refined European elegance. Marble countertops, brushed brass accents, and custom cabinetry create a sophisticated yet welcoming atmosphere. Unlike sterile contemporary kitchens, this space feels connected to the rest of the apartment's artistic identity. Open shelving displays ceramics and sculptural objects like curated gallery pieces rather than ordinary kitchen accessories. One of the most inspiring aspects of this apartment is the extraordinary craftsmanship visible throughout the interior. From custom woodwork to handmade furniture details, every element reflects patience and artistry. Even the smallest objects feel carefully considered. This dedication to craftsmanship gives the apartment emotional authenticity and reinforces the idea that great design is built slowly and intentionally. The apartment's hallway functions like a private gallery exhibition. Large artworks line the walls while carefully placed lighting draws attention to individual pieces. The corridor never feels empty or transitional. Instead, it becomes a destination itself, encouraging visitors to slow down and appreciate the relationship between architecture, art, and movement. The master bedroom introduces a softer and more intimate atmosphere compared to the dramatic public spaces. Neutral linens, textured fabrics, and warm lighting create a calming environment designed for rest and reflection. Large windows frame views of Paris rooftops while subtle artistic details maintain continuity with the apartment's overall aesthetic identity. Although the apartment embraces minimalist principles in certain areas, it never feels cold or empty. Every minimalist gesture is balanced by warmth, texture, and emotional storytelling. The designers understood that true luxury is not about excess, but about creating spaces that feel meaningful, personal, and deeply connected to human experience. One of the rarest luxuries in urban Paris is space itself. This apartment celebrates openness through generous proportions and uncluttered layouts. Quiet corners invite reading, reflection, and contemplation. Instead of maximizing every square meter for function, the design allows space to breathe naturally, creating a peaceful rhythm throughout the home. The bathroom feels like a private wellness retreat inspired by luxury European boutique hotels. Marble surfaces, warm brass fixtures, and soft indirect lighting create a serene atmosphere. Large mirrors amplify natural light while minimalist styling keeps the space elegant and timeless. Every detail contributes to a feeling of calm sophistication and understated luxury. One of the apartment's strongest design achievements is the dialogue between vintage and contemporary elements. Antique mirrors, historic furniture pieces, and aged decorative objects coexist beautifully with modern lighting and sculptural forms. This layering of different eras creates depth and authenticity, making the interior feel collected over time rather than artificially designed all at once. decorative objects inside the apartment are treated with curatorial precision. Books, ceramics, sculptures, and artisan pieces are displayed thoughtfully rather than excessively. Negative space is used intentionally to allow each object to breathe visually. This museum-inspired styling approach creates elegance without clutter and allows the apartment's personality to emerge naturally. The apartment's generous ceiling height dramatically enhances the emotional experience of the interior. Tall proportions create openness and allow artwork to command attention without overwhelming the rooms. The vertical scale also amplifies natural light and architectural detailing. Combined with carefully selected furnishings, the ceilings contribute to the apartment's timeless grandeur. More than simply a beautiful apartment, this home functions as a creative sanctuary. Every room encourages imagination, reflection, and appreciation for artistry. Whether reading near the fireplace, dining beneath dramatic lighting, or simply observing the textures and colors around the space, the apartment constantly inspires emotional engagement and visual curiosity. The small balcony connected to the living room offers a quintessential Parisian moment. Black iron railings frame views of historic rooftops, stone facades, and tree-lined streets below. Morning coffee or evening conversations become elevated experiences when paired with such architectural beauty. The balcony creates a poetic connection between the apartment and the city surrounding it. What makes this apartment unforgettable is not just its beauty, but its storytelling. Every room communicates emotion through proportion, light, material, and artistic expression. Instead of following temporary trends, the design feels deeply personal and timeless. The apartment tells a story about culture, creativity, history, and the emotional power of meaningful spaces. Despite its museum-like atmosphere, the apartment never sacrifices comfort. Seating feels inviting, fabrics feel soft, and the overall layout supports daily living naturally. The designers achieved a difficult balance between visual sophistication and emotional warmth. This harmony allows the home to feel both inspiring and livable at the same time. Parisian interiors continue to inspire designers worldwide because they embrace authenticity over perfection. This apartment demonstrates how history, craftsmanship, and artistic individuality can coexist beautifully with modern living. Rather than chasing trends, Parisian design celebrates permanence, emotional depth, and elegance that evolves gracefully over time. As we take one final walk through the apartment, every room reveals another layer of artistic detail. Reflections shift across marble surfaces while soft lighting highlights textures and sculptural forms. The apartment feels alive, constantly changing throughout the day depending on light, mood, and perspective. It is truly a living gallery designed for everyday life. This extraordinary Paris apartment proves that interior design can become far more than decoration. Through architecture, craftsmanship, art, and emotional storytelling, the home transforms into a living museum where every room offers a unique experience. It captures the timeless spirit of Paris while embracing modern creativity in a deeply personal way. More than simply a luxurious apartment, it is a celebration of beauty, culture, and the enduring relationship between art and everyday living.
Hmm.